Hi. Hi, everybody. Lainey had asked me to get on here and do an agent spotlight because the management team likes the way I talk to clients. So, um, does anybody have any questions at first, or do you just want me to give you an overview of how I talk to clients, or what would y'all like? Okay, well then, basically what I do is when I meet a client, I come, like if we're gonna meet at a house, I just kind of do what Andrew does because I learned from him. I get out of my car, I'm very calm, very collected, and I walk with my folders and all of my information to the client. I shake their hand, I introduce myself, but I think the reason why they like how I speak to people is because I try to make everybody feel warm. By the end of the day, I want them to be a friend of mine, not just a client. Okay. Um, so that's kind of how I treat my clients is even when I'm on phone calls, this is Dianne, I'm with EXP. And then I just go into, um, how basically my thought process is how can I help them? So I ask them questions about what they're looking for in a home. And I try to make, a couple little jokes here and there, just, to kind of ease the tension because sometimes talking to people can be a little nerve-wracking or a little intimidating. So I just try to make a joke, try to be real warm and friendly. Now there are some people, like I was out on a showing this past weekend where the client wasn't really a warm and fuzzy kind of person. So by the end of the showing, I had already done my bam bam, and I said, "Hey, when I meet you tomorrow, I'll go ahead and bring you a Starbucks. What do you like?" And she kind of smiled at that point. So I was able to kind of maybe make a little inroad with her. And so I met her the next day, brought her Starbucks. She loved it, and brought her significant other a drink. He didn't really care for his, but it made a connection. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for is that connection. Some people you're not going to have that connection with. Um, but I'm just trying to think. It's hard not to have someone here to talk to. Do y'all have any questions for me? Mackenzie, can you be my client?
Okay.
Can y'all hear, can you hear Mackenzie if she talks? Can you unmute yourself?
Do you want me to grab a mic?
If you can unmute yourself, maybe they can hear you.
Hello.
Okay, can y'all hear Mackenzie?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, we could. I could.
Okay, perfect. Now, if this is not what you want, please tell me what you want, but I'm gonna use Mackenzie, we're gonna have a phone
Excuse me,
call.
I'm sorry. Is there any way we could ask that person to mute their phone? Because it's really nerve-wracking in the background. Can you hear that?
Oh, I think there's another conversation happening in the room. I am so sorry.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's what's
Yes,
happening.
yes,
Okay.
I am so
Thank you.
sorry, y'all.
No problem.
I'm gonna pretend like Mackenzie's on the phone and I'm having a phone conversation with her, okay? So you're a client, you've called in through Zillow, and I'm following up with you, okay? All right, so basically I'm gonna call and I'm gonna say, "Hi Mackenzie, this is Diane. I'm with Zillow Premier Customer Service. You had an appointment with Vicky on Saturday at 10 o'clock. How did that go for you?"
It went okay. We didn't really like the house.
Oh, okay, well, I completely understand that. Were you able to see any other homes?
Yes, we saw two other homes.
And did you like those?
I think so.
You did?
We think
Okay.
so.
Or were you going to be putting an offer in on either one of those homes, do you think?
Potentially.
Okay, well, what's holding you back?
I don't know if we like the payment or if we qualify. We're a little scared.
Oh, no, I completely understand. And I'm sure Vicky has suggested that you speak to one of our loan officers because, Vicky's one of our top agents in the office. So did she happen to mention Zillow Home Loans or possibly one of our loan officers here in the office?
Yes, she connected us with Kathy.
Perfect. And were you able to get qualified with her and find out exactly what you qualify for and get some of your questions answered?
Yes, we're still haven't done the application, but we did speak with her.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, what's holding you back from submitting your application?
Just having the time.
I completely understand you having to find out your documents and things like that.
Yes.
Okay, well, let me ask you, when are you planning to move? When is your time frame? What is your time frame for moving?
Probably in the next 3 to 6 months.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, here's what I would like to suggest is let's go ahead and book another appointment with Vicky. Are you available Saturday or Sunday?
Both, either
Okay.
day.
Well, how about Saturday at 10 o'clock?
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, wonderful. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach out to Vicky because she's your agent, okay? And I'm gonna let her know that you're available on Saturday at 10 a.m. And she's gonna find some other homes that she thinks that you would like to see. And we'll get you out, and then you can also talk to her about financing again at that time. Okay?
Okay.
All right, perfect. Um, now, Mackenzie was, I don't want to say, she gave me some, I don't want to say pushback, but she wasn't easy, right? So she kind of gave me a run for my money. So instead of just hounding the financing part, I had to pivot because I asked her maybe like 3 or 4 times what was holding her back. So I had to pivot, and my pivot was getting that next appointment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I used you, Vicky, as as the agent. But that's what we're doing in the ICA department. We're trying to figure out where the hiccup might be. Like with Mackenzie's example, she was nervous. She doesn't have the time to get her paperwork put together. And that's with a lot of our clients, right? Sometimes it can be a little intimidating to go that step. So, you ask a couple of times, and then if you can't get them to commit to filling out the application, let's get them back out. No matter what, let's get them out and we can talk about financing again. But we don't want to come across, and not saying that anybody is, but we don't want to come across as being stern or not understanding. We want to meet them where they are. Did that help? I mean, I can still talk, but did that example help at all? Or is that kind of what y'all are looking for maybe?
I have a question.
Sure.
So I meet or so many clients that in the end they are not qualified for anything because of their income, not about the down payment. Sometimes they have a little bit of down payment, but their income is not there.
Correct.
So what we do, like I connected them with the David, and he's telling me that that they're not qualified because they don't have a 2 years income or they don't have like any income. It's low. So in that situation, what is our responsibility as an agent? Do we still go out, or we're just they're not
Well,
qualified? We nurture them.
Well, here's what I would say, and this conversation is probably not going to be exact. So you're going to have to tweak it to how y'all would speak to your clients. But I would just say, Adit, how would I say that? I spoke to David. David says that right now you don't have the 2 years that will qualify to get you into a home. In the meantime, let's do this. Let me go ahead and set you up on a home search, okay, in the areas that you're looking in. And I will be contacting you every so often just to see how y'all are doing, if you're able to get a co-signer, or if your situation changes a little bit. I'm here for you. I will be here for the long haul. In 2 years, something like that, right? We just still want to let them know we care about them, love them, not really love them, but we care about them. We want to help them, but there's not much that we can do at that point, right? Now, sometimes you can ask David, well, if they don't do the 2 year job history, is there something else that we can do, right? Usually there's not, but ask the lender, hey, they don't have the 2 year history. What else can we do? What are our other options? All
Mhm.
right.
Okay.
And yeah, but you want to love on them. You want to send them, property searches. You don't want to forget about them because in 2 years, when your child's going off to college, that could be an escrow. And all we
Mhm.
had to do was just kind of love on them for 2 years, right? Or
Mhm.
possibly a year, depending on how much time they already have at their job. Okay.
Okay, got it.
You know,
And
so
there is another question about the 3 homes that we have to show them in the first time that we go. Sometimes like I get a call, like it's like 1 hour or 2 hour, like I have just 1 or 2 hour to show the house, get ready and go. So there is no time to find other homes. Is it okay that we show only one home in that day and just bam them for the next one?
only in very, 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 um, I want to say time constrained situations because Andrew's philosophy, and I see it how it works, is when we show one home, it's called one and done. We show them one home and then they go about their business and find someone else to work with them, right? So we want to try to make sure we show 2 or 3. And I've had the same question. And I spoke to Lauren, who's one of our top producers in the office, and she's like, Diane, she goes, I'll pull over for just a few minutes and try to find a vacant home for us to go in. She goes, it might not fit the exact needs of the client, but at least we're showing another home. So you can do that. A lot of homes aren't vacant, but some are. So I would try to do that. Okay. And if you can't, you can't, but it's really best to try to show 2 or 3 homes. Okay.
And I had that same question, and I think Andrew addressed it today.
Yeah.
He said, go ahead and take a look around the house. I'll be in the kitchen.
Yes.
Remember, he said he's preparing, and
Yes.
this is your time to go on the MLS and find 2 other properties.
There you go. Does that make sense, Edie?
Yes.
Okay, so you can do that too. I think that's awesome, Vicky.
That's I finally heard that because I had the same question Edie had,
Yes,
and I'm
me
like,
too.
when am I going to have time to
I
do that?
know. I know,
And,
because usually it's an hour we're driving to go places, right?
right, right.
Yes.
So,
Exactly.
yes, so if you can pull over for 5 minutes, because we never want you doing it on your phone, right? Even though I do it on my phone all the time while I'm driving, it's not safe. So, pull over and try to find a few properties or in the kitchen, get on that phone, call on the other agents. So I think that's great, Vicky. Thank you for bringing that up.
I just
Thank
happen,
you.
but my question is, can we get the MLS on our phone app? Do they
Yes,
have?
yes,
Okay,
you
so
can.
I need to do some homework how I can get it on I have it on my laptop, but I would like to also get it on my phone.
Yeah,
Right,
there is an app. There is an
yes,
app. I have it. Yes.
yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Um, but and I know most of y'all, I've talked to a lot of you guys. Um, your phone etiquette is wonderful, but it's all just about making that connection, asking questions and listening to the question. Andrew brought that up today, is listen to what they say to the question and form your next question based on what they said. Um, we don't want to have, we don't want to have the client tell us, and I'm not laughing about my example, but my mom's got cancer. I've just lost my dog. My car broke down. And then the next question we say is, well, what time can you go see the home tomorrow? We need to show empathy, which happens occasionally, and, with some agents. So, we want to have that empathy and go, oh my goodness, I completely understand, which are magical words, right? Well, I completely understand when, and then you would want to go into, well, when would be a good time to go see additional homes? I know your schedule is really busy and you're not feeling well. When would you be able to go? Because I will work around your schedule, right? We just want to make sure that we're listening to what they say. Um, I know at one point I was so busy and so nervous that I was just going through the questions and not listening to the answers. That's kind of how I learned how to do this. And plus I listened to Andrew and to a lot of the other agents in the office. So I've just kind of learned to be a little bit more empathetic than I was, instead of just being so scared and trying to work through my questions.
Good point.
Yes, can you hear Mackenzie?
Can you hear me without my phone?
I think you need to unmute,
Okay.
please.
I'll just stand next to you because I think my phone.
Oh, okay. She's coming up. Mackenzie's got a question. She's gonna come up. Oh,
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
okay. Thank you, Vicky.
My question.
Yeah, good.
Okay,
What
thank
do you do to keep your clients hot?
Well, that's a really good question, to be quite honest. Um, we should be sending our property searches already through the Warburton app. Hopefully everybody has the Warburton app on their phone. Okay, if not, we need to get that on your phones for you. So you want to do your property searches from there. You can also send property searches from your MLS. Okay, but Andrew would really like to drive the traffic to our website. All right, and also on that same app, you're going to find blogs that are written. He suggests that we send these blogs out to our clients as well. Now, we don't want to send 5 things today and then nothing tomorrow, or nothing on Friday, nothing on Saturday. We want to just be, softly touching them every day. And if we're not doing it every day, it needs to be every other day. So today you might send a property that you found and you've fallen in love with it, right? And you want to send it to your client. Oh my gosh, I'm standing at Wendy's and I was looking through properties and I thought of you when I saw this property, and you send it to them. Also, you want to send a blog the next day about first-time home buyer programs, or send the program that that JJ Mortgage has right now, that an investor can help you with your down payment. You just kind of want to send things that are for that client. We can send a blanket to everyone, a blanket email to everyone, which is great. And that can be one of your touches. But I'll tell you, when I get emails, I like it when someone says, hey, Diane, I was thinking about you today. I saw these shoes that you might like. He always talks about shoes, these shoes that you might like. What do you think? I like that. I like it when someone makes it personal to me. But sometimes they don't come back. And I don't know why. Sometimes they just don't respond. Maybe you didn't connect with them. Maybe they've got another agent and they don't want to tell you. Maybe they don't have the down payment. They don't, unless we can find out what the issue is, we can't do too much. All you can do is that digital footprint. Have you taken that class? Andrew's digital footprint class on Tuesdays? Okay. That's a class I would suggest everybody take, is the digital footprint class. Okay. He tells you what to send, when to send it, and how to send it. And always remember that if someone texts you, text them. Someone calls you, I would say call them, but I wouldn't call them every day. So I would probably send them texts or emails. But when you're on that phone call, you can say, hey, Vicky, do you prefer phone calls, texts, or emails? Or every now and then I come across a property, can I text that to you? And then, because I'm in the industry and I'm constantly learning and reading every day, I come across articles that you might be interested in. Would you prefer an email? Would that be okay? And find out if they're okay with text and email. Because if they're not email people and they're sending things to email, we think they're ghosting and they're just not getting our information. Because I have an email address that a lot of stuff goes to, and I don't even read that email. I don't even open it. It's just for junk email. So if you send that to me to that email address, I won't get it. So we need to find out which way how they want to be communicated with. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. But we want to be touching our clients, several times a week. But I would suggest you take that class with Andrew. He's amazing. And he knows how to re-engage people, but there's sometimes you just can't. Okay. Any other questions? I will say this, that for Mackenzie's question, when I do call the clients, when the ICAs call, we are trying to figure out what is going on. If they'll answer the phone, we try to figure out where the issue might be, or the disconnect, why they didn't write an offer, why they didn't bam fam, that they didn't tell you, but they might be willing to tell us, because we come from customer service, not as the agent. So sometimes they tell us a little bit more. And just so you know, when I do call out and I'm trying to bam fam, I will say, I'm in control of Ron's schedule. What day would work for you? And sometimes I try to make a laugh, I try to make a joke because I'm always trying to be friendly. Don't tell Ron that, but let me know what day works for you. And then I'll call Ron and say, hey, Ron, Mackenzie said that she could meet at 10 o'clock on Saturday. Does that work for you? No. And Ron could say, no, it doesn't. Well, hey, make sure you reach out to Mackenzie and see if we can get another time scheduled. Okay. But I always reach out to the agent and let them know, hey, I spoke to your client. This is what they said. And sometimes the agents are like, yes, I already know this information. And I'm like, great, we're all on the same page. Okay. But it's all about being warm and friendly and just making them feel heard. I know when I'm trying to spend money, I want to feel heard. I don't want someone to rush me. I don't want to feel like I'm not being cared for. That sounds weird, but
So
any-
you're also, I know you're an ICA, but
Yeah.
are you also, you're also an agent, correct?
I am.
So this is the one I get trouble.
Uh-oh.
You made an appointment, and you're going to the property, but it's already in escrow.
Yes.
If you say, go ahead and go to the property,
Yes.
tell me what your script is at that point.
Okay. Now, forgive me, but what I say when I meet Reether at the property at 123 Main Street, and I already know it's under escrow, I'll get out of the car very calm, because it's all about how we're talking, right? We got to be calm. I'll walk up to Reether and say, I'm pronouncing that right, correct? Reether?
Yes, ma'am, Rether.
Okay, thank you, Reether, sorry. I'll say, Reether, I just got off the phone with the listing agent. The home has gone into escrow. The sellers will not let us see it. I had even asked the listing agent if we could go ahead and show it and possibly put in a backup offer. They're just saying, no, we can't see it. The good thing is I did find 2 other properties that are as nice or maybe even just a little bit better that you might be excited to see. You have a few minutes and we'll just run over there real quick. They're 5 minutes away.
Beautiful.
Okay. That's what I would do. Now, people might be upset by that, but if you come from the direction of I literally just got off the phone with the listing agent. They won't let us see the property. It went into escrow. I did find 2 other properties. Let's go see that. Let's
I
just-
liked how you worded it. I've got good news for you. I've got
Yes.
other properties for you to see.
Yes. And
Yeah.
y'all may already know this, but good news can be over the phone. Bad news needs to be in person. Did y'all know that? We never want to tell bad news over the phone because we may never get them back again. Okay?
Okay. That's why we meet them at the property.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay? And if they get upset with you, Vicky, I completely understand. I came all the way out here to see this one specific property. I completely understand. The listing agent just gave me a call, I just called the listing agent. I would say the listing agent just called me. The house went into escrow and the sellers aren't wanting us to show the property.
Mm.
Now, if it's a drive-by property, which a lot of our properties are, when you meet them there, you can say that the home has tenants. The listing agent reached out to the tenants. They wouldn't let us see the home. But I did find these others, right? So it's always the listing. I just got off the phone with the listing agent. That's how you want to approach that.
Okay, thank you.
I know that's a little bit of a not truth, but
Well, I've had a difficult person where I had that situation, but I had another one where you guys gave me the lead, and I was so happy because it was one of the first ones I've gotten. And but the person was very adamant. They were having an open house on Saturday, but my client could only see it on Friday. And I tried to work with the listing agent. She tried to work with the client, and they said, sorry, we just can't. But my but the buyer was adamant. I only have Friday. And I tried to do Bam Fam. I tried to show other properties. And I felt that because we were texting, I felt like I was talking to the mother, the son, because it was interesting of the different dialogues I was getting. I felt like I was talking to the whole family in text.
Okay.
And
All right. Well,
but it was very challenging. Yeah.
okay, did you actually meet with the clients?
No, because they were very adamant about only seeing that one.
Okay, okay, then here's what you could do. Say, and I'm just coming off the fly, so I may adjust this as we go. But, Martin, I'm gonna use Martin, he's in here. I'm gonna say, Martin, I completely understand that you only have Friday available. These sellers are only able to show the home on Saturday. So here, why don't we do this? Why don't you drive by the home on Friday? On Saturday, I'll go in and do a video tour for you and get that sent right over. Okay. Do you have any specific questions about the property so that when I'm there, I can make sure I get a really good video of those specific issues?
I could have tried that. Yeah.
Okay. And even if he tells you no, still go do it. Still go do that video. Okay. Because
Ask her to do a drive-by. Yeah.
yeah, because that lets him know that you went out of the way to go do this for him. Even if you don't get the client, you still tried, right? You still
Right.
did something.
Well, I didn't know. I showed several property. I mean,
Oh, to him? Oh,
well,
okay.
no, I didn't show them, but I mean, I was giving them the link like we're supposed to.
Yeah,
And so they went from Los Angeles, and all of a sudden they're interested in San Bernardino.
sure.
And because they were Spanish speaking,
Right.
I asked Lourdes to partner with
Yeah,
me. I needed a Top Gun hitter.
sure.
And it's because I felt like I was losing them, and I didn't want to lose them because, and so even Lourdes felt that they weren't serious buyers.
Oh, and
They,
that does happen, Vic. I mean, that does happen, Vicky.
yeah,
We
because they
do
were all
have,
over, they were
yeah,
all over the place. So then I even called Andrew. I
yeah,
said, here's my situation. They're not happy with anything I'm showing. So he said, use the 30-foot view. And so I started giving him LA. So I did an alert on LA County and San Bernardino.
right.
So that's where I'm at. So they're in nurture.
Okay, that's perfect. And then every now and then, make sure you touch them, send them a property. Hey, I was in the office looking at properties. This came across my desk and I thought of you. And then bam, send it over and then move on.
And they're still looking because I could
Yeah.
see in the in Lofty that they're looking.
Yeah.
So again, they're in my nurture mode. And I still touch bases. Are you ready? So I did text them just recently.
Okay.
So I haven't given up on them.
No.
But I did feel like it felt like based on the communication I was getting, the mom was interested in the property in LA, but it sounds like somebody, like a teenager, was saying, I wouldn't buy in that property in that area. So
Right.
I'm getting this text message and I'm like, who am I talking to?
Right.
So it was very interesting, but
Right.
thank you.
No, you're very welcome. Anybody else have any questions? I don't want to keep y'all too long.
Diane, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Good morning or good afternoon. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, so on these four-way texts, besides the agent, myself, and the ICA who assigned it to you, and the buyer themselves, who else is that on that four-way text?
It's what we call the BAT phone. We have 2 BAT phone numbers, and those are
Mhm.
our main numbers that we use for the ICAs.
Okay,
Okay. Now, sometimes because I don't work on an ICA phone, I use my iPhone. So I'll do me, you, the client, BAT phone and BAT phone 2. Okay. So
Okay.
there'll be like 5 people or
Okay.
5 numbers.
okay. So when we see appointment opportunities come across on WhatsApp, and it says IC, or excuse me, ISA, is that you?
It could be one of us. Yes, it'll be one of us.
Okay, so the difference between ISA and ICA is basically the same?
It's the same thing. It's just, we, at one time we were ICAs, now we're ISAs.
Okay,
So
okay,
ICA and ISA are interchangeable.
okay. So I received this this appointment today to go show some property. And on the recording, the buyer wasn't interested in because it was a 55 and over mobile home community,
Yeah.
right? And so when I asked the ICA, well, if they don't want to be there, where do they want to be? So she said, well, you need to find out where they want to be and what price range and so forth and so on. So without actually calling the buyer, which we're not supposed to, how are we supposed to handle that? How are we supposed to figure out where we're supposed to meet these people? Because the property that they called in on, they're really not interested because it's a 55 and over, and obviously they're not 55 and over.
What I would do if I were you, if I was in this situation, I would find out what that 55 plus home is. Is it a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 400,000 Riverside? And then I would take that information and go to your MLS and look up 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 375 to 425, homes. And then when over on the right-hand side, it'll say 55 plus communities, make sure you say no.
Okay.
And then if it's a manufactured home, I would look in the manufactured home in a community with an all-age park.
Okay. So
that's
back to
what
the
I would do.
so back to the four-way text, right? And the
Yes.
reason I asked is where that goes to is so I sent out the first text, the introducing myself and sending in the um, Zillow Premier profile, right? And then he sent back, oh, I'm not interested in 55 and over. So I sent him, and he was interested in Long Beach under 600. So in the second text, I've lined up some fantastic properties for you. I sent him properties under 6 in all of Long Beach, right? So I haven't heard anything back from him. And again, so we can't call these people. How do we know which one of these properties we're supposed to meet them at?
Okay, so from what I understand, let's say you sent him 6 properties, you want him to look at those, right?
Yeah, and
And
that's
let
why I
you
sent them
know.
to you on the second text.
Yeah. Okay, here's what I would do if I were you. I would find 2 that are the closest to what he's looking for. Go
Mhm.
ahead and schedule appointments for those 2
Got it.
and say, hey, Jim Bob, I know you might not have had time to look at these links. I went ahead and scheduled 2 appointments for 123 Main Street and 125 Main Street. So let's meet at 123 Main Street at 4 o'clock today, and then we can go over all the other properties, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
Yep, that's what I would say in my text.
Okay, thank you. But we're able to have communication with that particular buyer by the four-way text, not outside of that four-way text. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, but we are able to ask them questions on that four-way text.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right, very good. Thank you.
Okay, no, you're very welcome. And make sure you get a confirmation back, that he's gonna meet you at 123 Main Street.
For
Okay,
sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
okay,
Okay,
because
thank you.
right now, no one knows where they're going.
Right, including
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, he doesn't know because he doesn't want to be in a 55 plus.
Mhm.
And you don't know where you're going, so try to reach out via text, and if not, have the call the ICA and say, hey, can y'all call him? Because I've got an appointment for us at 123 Main Street and I haven't been able to confirm. Can you call him? Or
Okay,
her?
got it.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Mhm.
Everybody else okay? Anything else? Because I'm gonna I'm gonna skedaddle here.
Good daddle.
As you can tell, I'm thirsty. I'm starting to slur words.
No, thank you. I'm sorry. It's still summertime. We
Hey.
got kids around, but thank you so much for all the information. I loved
Oh,
it.
you're very welcome. And if there's anything I can do, please thank you, Mackenzie. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We're all here to help, but if you have something that's a concern, make sure you ask us. We want you to ask and feel, heard, and that your concerns are valid, and we'll help it the best way that we can.
Thank you, Diane.
You were
Okay,
great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
Thank
guys.
you, Diane.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Diane.
I hope you
Appreciate
found
it.
Thank you.
some value in this. You're
Thank you.
welcome. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Okay, I don't know how to do that, so. Martin, congratulations on your closing. That's amazing.
Can't get done without your guys' help.
Now that I'm in here, it's so quiet in here.
I know. Love it sometimes because you're able to concentrate.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in here.
There you go. Well, good luck.
You too. Have a great day. Oh, you too.